So what is this narrative? Let's assume that this is the plaintiff's case. The narrative that's been put to us is as follows. It is that the world is warming to an alarming degree, and that we need to do something about it urgently. There are any number of eminent scientists who disagree. This is despite the fact that they are called deniers, heretics, and people who are best ignored because they're ignorant and flat earthers. This is not the case at all. There are eminent scientists like Dr. Richard Linson, Patrick Moore, the co-founder of Greenpeace, William Happer, and I could go on and on, of many, many eminent scientists who do not agree with this narrative, which is that global warming will eventually come to a point at which we'll all burn or something dreadful will happen and that we must take immediate action. I believe that due to the fact that we're embarking in this country on expenditure of huge amounts which could break the economy, and that we are putting the population of this country into a situation of great harm in terms of the costs of living, the turmoil of someone telling them how to heat their house and eating and so forth. I think it's extremely important that there should be a debate, and I don't think there has been a debate. And certainly before we embark upon something, and I'm not saying that the other side may have good points and they're able to destroy some of what I've said, maybe they can. I'm not preaching to you, I'm just trying to explain there are other points of view, and it is extremely important that we do have a debate, not of the sort where they're all appearing in a TV room and bickering with each other. I think it should be conducted upon a sort of an election basis where each side can present without too much intrusion their point of view, and indeed it should perhaps lead to some form of public vote. I mean, we are embarking upon extreme measures very, very quickly. Even if the arguments on the other side are right, I suggest that they are over-exaggerated and alarming, and that we should take more time investigating and thinking about what action should be taken. Yes, I certainly agree, a debate should take place. It also came about that in the early stages, about the time of Al Gore, that it was stated that everything had been agreed. 97% of all scientists are now agreed that this is a definite fact, and that this warming is caused by CO2 emissions caused in the main by humankind. So we look at this narrative and see what is happening. First of all, the consensus. Consensus is not a scientific word. Science is a process. It's a constant process. It's always ongoing. Therefore, very unwise to close the door and say it's all agreed. There's always one person who can be right and all the others wrong. This has happened with Galileo and Einstein, where the established scientific field was covered by people who thought they were so totally wrong. And they turned out to be the people that were right and the establishment wrong. So it's a very dangerous thing, I think, when you're putting forward a proposition which has so many implications, to state that 100% or 97%, I beg your pardon, of scientists all agree. The reasons why I started looking into this problem and showing some interest was that pre the pandemic period, I'd heard so much in newspapers and on the TV and other organs that there was this global warming, that it was all settled, there can be no debate, and there was a consensus, and indeed there was a young lady who came along onto the scene and was presented as some form of saint, addressing the United Nations and other things, and I must say that it struck me that this didn't seem very scientific, and it struck me as more being a political movement with religious overtones.